Very good evening. My name is Jimmy Martinez, and on today's day, let's talk about. In recent years, schools in the United States have been the scene of shootings, with dozens of children and young people among their victims. The problems have increased with the help of violence and deaths in public space due to the easy access to weapons will be the aggressors. The first factor being with the authorities and parents due to the lack of information regarding minors, and they cannot control these producers adequately in addiction. Another problem is the coincidences in the psychological profile of the attacker. The protagonists of the massacres are victims of bullying, racism, and other factors, or with uh, psychiatric problems and history of violence. In addition, there is with which a potential attacker can acquire a firearm ever and military grade on is another characteristic that increases the number of victims in the type of incident.
The problems that have originated in the country of the United States have increased with that have of bayonet and deaths in public space due to the age accent to one spot by the aggressor in firearms stops, mod storage to not ask for a permit to carry one response of any model. Or brand. Shooter is an increment in AC access to carry one spot, despite the fact that in recent years in the country, there have been several mass shootings lately. Progress has been made in the United States, and gun control reforms, especially at the federal level, despite numerous projects risking, with strong public support for measures such as ancient background checks and bans of certain types of guns of a sheet rifle. Gun control reforms had been the biggest issue in the gun ownership.
The protagonists of the massacres are victims of violence, racism, with psychiatric problems, and historic violence. There will be an increase in attack in school and the United States due to the excess of violence that young people see both in video games and in movies or that on the internet. And remember that adolescence is a very sensitive age. Although it is estimated that the number of cases of mental illness has not been detected in a significant way, the main problem is that the protagonists have mental problems of traumas. Faced with the situation, various sectors of society are either seeking effective solutions to prevent school shooting and avoid blows in study centers.
Hello, guys. I hope you are having an excellent evening today. Make yourselves uncomfortable and the will a little reference to what was previously mentioned about the terrible cases of mass shooting in use schools. Finally, the state itself should control the is with a which a potential attacker can acquire a firearm, even a military grade one, which another character that increases the number of victims in this state of incident. And usually the protagonists of the crimes are not enough with the members of the schools, but also attack their own family. The right of the U.S. citizens to bear arms in basis of the text of the Second Amendment of the Constitutions of the country and, above all, on the interpretation of this rule made by the Supreme. Above all, on an interpretations of this rule on the Supreme. Court of Just, the Just of Justice in 2008. The problem is that by the Constitution approved the use and purchase of weapons from civilians without permissions. And thank you. See you and coming soon.
Hello, good evening. My name is Carlos Hernandez. I am the sixth group, and I'm going to talk about of mass shooting in U.S. schools in 2022. Our first point, I'm going to talk about of incompetence of the authorities. The first factors in that of the authorities due to the lack of information they have about the process, which works incorrectly, really incorrectly, because they cannot control these procedures properly. In addition, other problems are the consciences in the psychological profile of the attacker. Demograph will push for more funding for psychological care in public and private insurance programs. They will denounce the present proposed cuts to Medicaid, state insurance for the poorest, and thought Obamacare's mental health coverage requirements, which Trump and Republicans have sought to repel. They will also recall an Obama-era rule that would have prevented people receiving government-funded treatment for mental illness from purchasing firearms. Okay.